Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to do a quick predictions video. Basically, Marigold has announced their first show, the card of their first show. I can't tell for sure if the order that they presented them in are the exact order of the show, but that is what my assumption is going to be. So I'm going to go through, basically show what every match is going to be, and then give my predictions on who's going to win and in what way too, to kind of try to make it a little bit more fun, because in a lot of ways when you're predicting who's going to win in a match, it's usually 50-50 at best, and then it just gets even easier to choose from there once you know where everyone's standing is on the card and whatnot. But for this one, I'm going to guess not only who's going to win if it's like a tag match, but like who's going to pin who, if it's going to be like pin or submission or whatnot. Since a lot of these women, I do not know their move sets at all, I'm just going to have to go off of pin or submission or time limit draw or whatever. So for the first match here, we have, I'm kind of covering. Let me see if there's a way to. No, there's really nowhere that I could put myself to. Maybe right there. Right in between them, maybe? I don't know. All right. So for the first match, we're going to have Nanae Takahashi versus Victoria Yuzuki. Now, obviously, this one is so easy to guess. Clearly, Yuzuki is going to kill Nanae. Ha ha ha. No, but yeah, seriously, obviously, Nanae is going to beat Yuzuki, and it's going to be by pin. I don't know if Nanae is like a submission kind of person, but I believe it is going to be by pin. And this is the perfect match for Yuzuki to go up against a vet of the business who has a renown of her own. And this will allow her to kind of show her progress since she debuted around a year ago. I believe this is the best option for Yuzuki right now. I did see some people kind of complaining. They're like, oh my god, of course, Rossi's feeding Yuzuki to Nanae already. It's like, you guys seriously think that Yuzuki isn't, like, the chosen one by Rossi right now? I mean, that could change later. But right now, she left with him. She left Stardom, a guaranteed paycheck, and probably the only place that you could currently wrestle right now as a rookie low card where you probably didn't have to have another job. So that's all I'm going to say. So obviously, I'm saying it's going to be Nanae versus. Let me make myself a little bit smaller so I'm not covering up too much. But you guys can still see my ugly face. Boom. We have Nanae versus Yuzuki. I'm voting Nanae and by pin. So let's go to the next match. Right here, we have one of the ones that I am super excited for, Miku Alno versus Nao Ishikawa. And the reason why I'm excited for this is because I was always a fan of Miku Alno. She is the only wrestler that wasn't in Stardom that I actually have merch for, if that should tell you anything. And then I have recently become a huge fan of Nao ever since her match against Tam. As you guys know, I basically stopped watching Stardom over the last couple years, and but every now and then I would pop in for like a big match, and I was like, "Ooh, that's probably going to be really good." Like for example, I watched the Mayu versus Seri match. But anyway, so I watched the Tam versus Now one because I really liked how they were building it up, how like Now was pretending to be Tam, and so I was like, you know what, this is probably going to be pretty cool. So I did it, and I was like, wow, she's actually not bad. She's actually pretty good for her like level of experience, which I believe is like only around 4 years-ish, 4 or 5 years. So I have really high hopes for Now. She's kind of becoming like a fan favorite for me right now. I want to cheer her on more than any other wrestler right now, just because I feel like she's actually very spirited right now and wants to win. Now, with that said, obviously Miku Alno is going to win, and it's going to be by pin. That's like I don't even feel bad guessing that. I would feel bad for anyone picking Now to win. All right, so let's go on to the third match. One that apparently most people are really excited for, but I personally don't know too much about at least half of these wrestlers, and then the other half I didn't actually like too much when I was watching Stardom. So it is Mirai versus Chiaki. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce her name. Is it Chica or Chiaki? I don't know. I'm going to say Chiaki until I'm proven otherwise. So we have Mirai versus Chiaki. Now, obviously, I'm going to go with Mirai here as the winner and by pin. Just because I don't know too much about Chiaki. I know that she's come from Actress Girls and that Fuka herself, or not Fuka herself, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Rossi basically said that the Actress Girls wrestlers just don't know how to wrestle right now. Obviously, I don't think he meant the three that have been wrestling for like well over 5 years. Like Shizuki, Miku, and Misa, I think her name is. We'll see later when she shows up. Misa. I am excited for both of these. I've never once seen Chiaki wrestle at all, though. I've never seen it once, so she could win my heart in this match. Now, Mirai, as I have said before, I was not a fan of. I did not like her. I thought she was boring. And it didn't help that she was a part of that DDM dominance that really, really turned me off from Stardom at the time. So, with that said, she completely won me over with that Marigold show at Noah, the Magic Kingdom, I think it was called. I am currently working on a review for that show, so but probably not coming out today, but you know the deal. She completely won me over. I thought she did amazing. She looked really great, very cute, in shape. Not that was ever a problem for me with her. She was always in shape, but it seems like she's gotten even more into shape, which is great for her. But her whole look, her hair to her outfit, it's just great. And I've completely been won over. She does this one move in that Noah show. If you can watch it, I highly recommend it. It was sick. I loved it. And if you know, it's the backflip move. So yeah, Mirai is going to be pinning Chiaki. Now I feel kind of bad because going through here, I've noticed that I'm probably just going to pick the Stardom girls winning over the Actress girls if they're ever competing against each other. But at this point, I don't know how long Chiaki has been wrestling, but I do know that Mirai was the white belt champion. So, all right, going on to the next one. I don't know which one this is anymore. Is it 4, 5? I don't know. Anyway, we got our first tag match, I believe. It is Natsumi Shizuki and Misa Matsui, so Actress Girls, versus Amare Koki and Chika Goto, which is also Actress Girls. Now, what's interesting about this match is there are 2 wrestlers in this match that I am super excited to see wrestle because I've never seen them wrestle, but their whole look and demeanor, like when they were giving their little videos on the Twitter accounts of like introducing themselves, I felt that like passionate spark in them. I felt like these are the 2 that I think are going to really improve, if not already be good. Now, Shizuki is a returning wrestler. She was in Stardom before. It had already won the tag belts at that time, I believe. She had changed her name after leaving Stardom, and upon her return to her coming to Marigold, returning to Rossi, she basically said, Google Translate, so I can't really, speak for her, but the gist of it was she wants to go back to the name that Rossi gave her because she was not able to achieve too much with the name that she gave herself after leaving Stardom, which is really nice. And it's crazy how loyal these women are to him. She leaves for like 10 years and comes back and is like, yeah, I want to work for you again. And I not only do I want to work for you, I want to throw away my last 10 years of name building and go back to the name that you gave me. Like, just goes to show you how probably good of a person Rossi is backstage, behind the scenes with these women, always being there to support them. Now, I don't remember if I started talking about the 2 that I'm excited for, but it is Misa Matsui and Chika Goto. Those were the 2 that really stood out to me when they were doing their introductions, when they were first announced that they were going to be joining Marigold. Which is crazy because I know most people are really excited for Amare Koki. That is the the chick, the woman that I always get told by people. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna love her. Like, look out for her. She's great. She's really good." Like, all right, stop building her up because I seriously doubt she's that good. All right, I don't want to be disappointed. Just let her do her thing. That is a thing that a lot of Joshi fans do too often. Unfortunately, is that they build up green rookies as if they're the best out there skill wise just because they're entertaining in these non-stardom promotions. That's what happened to me when, for example, everyone was like, "Yo, Tokyo Joshi, Tokyo Joshi. If you like Stardom, you'll love Tokyo Joshi. They have the best wrestlers in the world right now." I'm like, okay. So when I went to go watch them, I was like, wow, it was fun and entertaining to watch. But most of these women wouldn't even be the mid card of Stardom, like so. I am excited to see all of these women, but I am mostly excited about Misa and Chica. Now, who do I think is going to win? Obviously, the two non-rookies. So, as far as I know Chica Goto never got to debut as a wrestler. Now, I don't know if Koki was wrestling before Actress Girls got rid of the wrestling division, but I know that for a fact Chica Goto wasn't, because she said that she's debuting as a wrestler at Marigold. And we have Natsumi Shizuki, who is at least a 10-year vet, I believe, close to 10 years, if not 10 years. She was there in the beginning-ish of Stardom. And then we have Misa Matsui, who I believe have been wrestling for around 4 to 5 years, if I'm not misremembering that when I was looking into them. So obviously they're going to win. Now, who do I think is going to win? I think they're going to give Natsumi Shizuki the pin over Chika Goto. Just because it kind of seems like Rossi is soft on Koki. I think he sees really good things in her. If you notice like how everyone's standing in pictures and stuff like that, and Rossi himself in one of his tweets, I believe, he basically talked about her. So I don't think she's gonna have her get pinned in the first match of the promotion. So I believe it's gonna be Shizuki pinning Chika Goto. All right, moving on to the semi-main event, I believe, another tag match. And this one is interesting. I can see that they were not able to get a very high-res picture of Nagisa Nozuki. Anyway, so it is Mai Sakurai and Zeta Steel versus Nagisa Nozaki and Mila Grace. Now, this one is interesting because I believe the subtitle to this match was like "The Beauties of the World" or something like that. Let me find that. Oh, I forgot that the English Marigold account did not post this one for some reason. I don't know if something's gonna change or what, but anyway, yeah. Let me see. World Beauty Showdown. So it's supposed to be like a across the world cute women kind of thing, which, yeah, all of them are very attractive, which, by the way, I never thought Mai was super attractive until I started watching, or until I watched the Noah Magic Kingdom show. I was like, wow, she's actually really pretty. I don't know if that was just like I just wasn't noticing before, or if she's changed in some way recently. But she's also actually gained a fan in me because her participation in that match at the Noah Kingdom Magic Kingdom match was actually really nice. I thought she was funny. I thought she pulled off her gimmick really well. We don't have too many gimmicks left in Stardom these days. It's always just like, this is me and I do flips. That's my gimmick. That instead of like her, she's like a royal lady or something like that, calls everyone commoners. Like, hey, that's pretty funny. Like how Toni Storm, she has a whole gimmick right now. That's not Toni Storm, that's a gimmick, and it's really cool. I mean, I don't really watch it, so I don't know if it's good or not, but I think it's cool that people are still trying to put over gimmicks and not just being themselves, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with trying to be yourself, but it's boring, So yeah. So who do I think is going to win this? this is very interesting because they have a foreigner on either side, and as we know, Rossi does seem to favor the foreigners, especially the the blonde, like, hot foreigner, which both of them are. So, and also I'm pretty sure that's not actually Zeta Steel. That picture does not look anything like her. If it is, then dang. All right, I'm stupid, but it looks like someone completely different. Anyway, this will be tough because Nagisa Nozuki. Spoilers for the Noah Magic Show, so if you want to watch that, please watch that first before continuing here. But Nagisa Nozuki was in that show, and she was the one that took the pin. So I could see her get her like comeuppance or like her revenge, kind of. But the person who pinned her is not in this match, so it might be interesting to see. What I think is really going to play a part here is whether Rossi sees Zeta Steel or Nyla Grace as the higher up foreigner. And based on what I can see is I think Nyla Grace is actually a belt holder based on her picture. I don't know if Zeta Steel is a belt holder, but I believe we're going to have Nagisa Nozuki pinning Mai Sakurai. Now, before you go crazy, let me explain. I think they're building up to Nagisa Nozuki facing Julia in a singles match because after the Noah Magic Kingdom show, Nagisa and Julia got into a scuff in the backstage promo, like after match promos. And everything that happened in the match with Julia pinning Nagisa, Julia using Nagisa's face as a shield against Sakuya's Green Mist, everything like that. I think that's where they're leading. And if Nagisa loses here, they could just have her not be a part of the finish at all, and but if Nagisa loses here, I feel like that's gonna damper that storyline if that is what they're planning on doing. I also think that is very unlikely, though, because it looks like they're setting up a singles match versus two certain wrestlers who are in the next match. So you guys know who I think is going to win. It's going to be Nagisa Nozuki pinning Mai Sakurai. Now, the main event, we have Julia and Utami Hayashishita versus Sari and Bozilla. Now, for those of you who don't know who Bozilla is the disciple, wow, that's tough to say, of Alpha Female. She's going to be the giant, and as you know, Rossi loves their giant foreigners. Most of them are never good. I don't think I liked a single one other than Viper. They're just not good most of the time. And she's pretty green from what I can hear. She's only had like 20 wrestling matches across the year or something like that. So we'll see. But I think that they're setting up a future singles match between Julia and Utami Hayashishita for the main belt. Whatever the main belt's going to be, I think that's what they're setting up. And so I think that hampers the Julia versus Nagisa storyline. This is going to be tough. This is a tough one to decide because Sari just recently lost to Mayu not too long ago. And I feel like this match is probably going to be to try to make Bozilla look really good. So you would think that Sari and Bozilla would be the ones winning. But at the same time, how are you going to have your two top people lose in the first show? That seems really dumb to me. So what I think is going to happen, right now I'm split between a time limit draw and Julia pinning, oh God, who is she going to pin? Because having Julia pin Sari right after Mayu pin Sari almost kind of seems like an insult. Nothing against Julia. I really love Julia. I've been a supporter of her from the very beginning, as you guys know. But she's really not on Mayu's level. Or maybe they'll have Bozilla pin Utami. Oh, that would be dumb, though. Yeah, I think they're gonna have Julia pin Sadi. I think that's gonna be how they finish this match. So there you go. That is my predictions for these cards. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who do you think is gonna win in what match? Are you excited for the matches, the show? I am really excited. I think it's a really good lineup. Everyone here looks like they're in the correct spot of where they probably should be. Now, I did see a lot of people complaining that Mai Sakurai's match was too high up on the card, but I don't really see it that way. I think she did well enough in that Noah Magic Kingdom match to deserve this spot. Now, whether she should be above like Mirai or everyone else, I don't know. But each of these spots are something different. We're starting off with a rookie versus veteran storyline. Then we're going to two women that some people probably have never seen wrestle. Miku Aono and Nao Ishikawa. I don't really know what these two have in common, but they get a singles match in the first show. Think about that. Like, Julia doesn't get a singles match. Utami doesn't get a singles match. You know, none of them got a singles match. The only people that got singles matches are the first three matches. And that's significant. I don't think card placement where it is should matter that much. Because based on what I learned playing the GM mode on the wrestling game, is you want the beginning of your show and the end of your show to be the best. And I think that's what they're doing. And then you have that little dip in the middle. But here, I think what they're trying to go for is like an up and then kind of a plateau all the way to the end and then an up instead of a dip. Because a lot of people are really excited for Mirai versus Chiaki. They're saying that this is a perfect matchup. I can't say for sure, not for myself, but I believe it. And then the Miku Aono versus Nao Ishikawa. I really like that one. I kind of see this match as Rossi not knowing where to place Miku Aono. Like where is her skill level? Because he knows what Nao's skill level is because they've worked together before, but they've never worked with Miku. So I think he's going to use this match as a judgment to see where exactly he should be placing her. And then you just go all tag matches at the end. If anything, I think this match is probably the one that should be lower if we're going to go off of that logic instead of the Mai Sakurai one, because the Mai Sakurai also has two foreigners and Nagisa, whereas this one has two essentially rookies versus, I don't want to say veterans, but one's a veteran and the other one's like a seasoned wrestler. So this honestly should be a killing. Like they should be just being steamrolled over. But I have faith that they're going to be able to do something pretty good here. Yeah. All right. So thanks for watching. Please let me know in the comments which match you were the most looking forward to, who you think is going to win in the matches, and yeah. Bye.